Hey guys, every year at Independence Day, the 4th of July, up in Phoenix, or actually just south of Phoenix this year, Independence Training holds the Independence Day Action Rifle Match. It is a rifle-only match, 4 stages. It's always really fun. It's always really hot because it's on the 4th of July in the Phoenix area. This year, I think it was 110, 108, something like that. It was a little bit miserable, but I shot it on my own because Carl was off busy advising the Narnian military on small arms procurement. So I figured this would be a fun chance to take out my FAMAS and some French desert camo and see what I can make happen. So I only have 3 of the stages here. I actually shot this match the day before on the 3rd of July. Maybe that's cheating, but I shot it during the setup time. So I don't have scores on this because 2 of the 3 stages actually changed between when I shot them and when the actual match happened. That's part of the setup process. And then the 4th stage was done with a sim gun, and they didn't bring it that day, so I just have the 3 stages that I shot with my FAMAS. So let's get to it. So this is the medium range stage. There are 2 steel targets at the corner of the bay, and those are, I believe, mini IPSCs or Qs, mini Qs. And you have to hit them each twice from each position. So you start at the table. Once you hit those, you then advance to the tire, and then the spindle, and then the blue barrels, and then you have to shoot the spinner. So I left the bipod up on my FAMAS for the duration of this, well, all of these first positions, because every position was actually designed as a thing that you could rest your rifle on. So I really didn't need the bipod. Bipod actually would have been a little more awkward on some of these, like the tire and the spindle. I should point out the rules for this match were that if you were shooting a major caliber, i.e. .308, you only needed 1 hit on target. If you were shooting an intermediate caliber, i.e. .556, you needed to get 2 hits on every target. So I started off really well, and then my accuracy kind of just went downhill. I can't blame it on the gun, it's just me. I actually really like the iron sights on the FAMAS. We'll see that in the next stage, really why. But they have I think a really good set of iron sights. The trigger's not bad, but not awesome. It's certainly not an AR-15, a match AR type of trigger. Yeah, here it wasn't working for me right on the fore end of the gun, so I brought it up to rest on the pistol grip, and then click. The FAMAS does not lock open when empty, so it's a bit of a surprise when you run out of ammo. Everything's compromised. They do that so the bolt doesn't lock open in, say, a dust storm, and then fill the rifle with dirt, and then it won't work anymore.
Whoa.
So, yeah, at this point, Russell had to actually give me some corrections to get on target. But I do manage to actually, there it is, hit all the targets. Now you can see that first cone that I'm running past. You had the option to shoot from either the first cone or the second one that I'm running to. I immediately knew I was going to the second cone. That's about 50 yards. I continue to despise spinners, especially with 5.56. This actually kind of got off to a good start. In fact, it got off to a really quite good start, and then it just kind of stumbled and fell apart on me. So I started going too fast. I missed that shot on the top. I'm starting to pull shots late, missed that one, but I'm still really close to spinning the thing. Misses don't help. A late hits don't help nearly as much. Like, it's 80% of the way there, and then I run out of ammo, so I have to change mags. The spinner slows down. They actually had trouble with the spinner on the day of the match. It wasn't rotating for people. Whether it started having problems here during my stage, or whether I just kind of sucked, I don't know, but it was probably that I just sucked. So let's move on to the second stage. They designed this match to have 4 stages but each stage to have a kind of a different feel to it. So the very, very, very close range stage was the sim gun stage, which you don't see here, but that was within 2 rooms in like a 25 square foot building, little tiny thing. And then there was a CQB sort of close and fast stage, which will be our last stage. Then there was an intermediate range stage, which is what we just did. And then there was a long range stage. So the long range one This is, honestly, I was expecting this to be a complete dumpster fire for me, because I'll just run through this before we start the stage, because you won't be able to see the targets. Even if we pointed the camera at them, you wouldn't have been able to see them. There are 4 targets on this stage. They're all mini IPSCs. They're like this big. The first one is at 485 yards, and then there are 3 others kind of in a row at 375, 320, and 260 yards. And again, per the standard rules, I have a 5.56. I have to engage each target twice. There are 3 positions. You only engage that 485-yard target from the very first one. And then it's the other 3 targets, move to position 2, do it again, move to position 3, do it again. So I'm shooting this thing with iron sights. The way these targets are set up, the 3 in a row, we have a black one, a white one, and a red one. And they are each set up next to a cone like you see me shooting next to. So let's go ahead and start the stage. Maybe. There we go. All right, so the bipod is an absolute necessity here. And I'm starting on the 485-yard target, which I can't even see. It's 500 yards away. So I have to engage it twice in order to not take a penalty for failing to even try. I take 2 shots. No idea where they're hitting. We also have a fair bit of crosswind today. Then I move on to the next 3. And by the way, what you saw me do there was actually adjust my iron sights from the 500-yard position to the 300. Yeah, you hear that? 2 hits in a row. So second target. Hit.
Over the top.
Not quite.
Just under it.
Almost.
Off right.
There it is. I'm really surprised that I was actually able to make these hits. The FAMAS has a really nice precision aperture that you can use for this sort of thing. It has a very nice narrow, crisp front sight blade. And I actually managed to clean all 3 of these targets from the first position. I didn't get that 485-yard ridiculous target, but I got the others. And I'm really happy with that. This is not a stage that was really designed to be shot with iron sights. So moving on to the second position here, that cone up there. One of the other problems we had during this setup, and again, this is what setup is for, is that the spotter on calling hits remained back at the beginning. And once I moved out to here, I could no longer hear his hit calls, so I couldn't tell what I was getting anymore. You can hear 1 or 2 of them here on the video. I do make a couple of hits here, but at this point, I know that my time's running out. We have a 3-minute par on the whole thing. There you get an idea of the crosswind that we're dealing with. So frankly, again, the fact that I make any hits at all on this, there we go, there's another one.
Red.
Yeah, at that point I was ready to abandon it when I realized I actually got both hits on that middle target. We'll try the last one. I don't think I get anything. Yeah, 2 shots at that, and again, I know my time's running out, so I'm going to keep moving and at least get shots off attempting the other targets. Now this was done blind. I hadn't come out and reconnoitered the shooting position. Turns out you couldn't see the targets unless you actually rested the rifle on this tree branch, which made for really cool stage design, but it also meant that I wasted some time getting into position here. Bipod was still really handy, letting me shoot from a sitting position. So I couldn't even see the first target there. I just dumped 2 shots at it so that I officially tried. Moved on to the second one, and then the third one, and then I run out of time. So I don't remember the exact count. I got about half of the hits overall, which to me is awesome. I'm really happy with that performance. So that was the long range. I expected it to be a complete dumpster fire, and it actually wasn't. Some of the elements of the FAMAS make this not as difficult as it could have been. The really good sights and the bipod, the free-floated bipod, was an absolute lifesaver here. So moving on to our last stage. This is the short and fast one. Start in the car and grab your rifle out of the trunk, engage all the paper targets. They're 2 steel again, and you have to engage the steel twice from here. So that's the steel. So paper and there, last paper, steel, get the steel. Then you run over to this barricade Cameraman is going to proceed to basically drop the camera here. Yep, there it goes. So hold on, we'll come back. From the other position, from that barricade, we're basically doing the same thing. Engage 5 more paper targets, and both steel, 2 hits each. Like an idiot, I forgot to engage one of the steel targets from there, which gave me a nice couple of penalties. Then you run back to the car and just engage the steel targets here at the very end. So 2 hits on that one, and 1, 2 hits on that one. So IDARM, Independence Day Action Rifle Match, is always a lot of fun. It's always miserably hot, but that's part of the experience. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the run through here. I do always enjoy being able to take the FAMAS out and run it through some semi-practical courses of fire. So we will be doing some more footage with the FAMAS coming up a little later on. Thanks for watching.